Government shutdown is looming over Capitol Hill. Yesterday, Speaker McCarthy sent lawmakers home for the weekend, even though the House has yet to broker a deal on federal spending. Joining me now is our good friend, New York Democratic Congressman and ranking member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, Gregory Meeks. Welcome, sir. Can I get a sense of where negotiations stand at this hour from you? What do you know?
We've been looking and asking. I know Rita Jeffries has been trying to figure it out. It's really unknown. I've talked to some of my Republican colleagues who should be in the know. They don't know. I think that what they're looking to do, they're going to come up with 9 different bills next week for the DOD, for defense planning. And I don't think they will win any one of them. So it's really, really up in the air. We're not sure. I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen next week. It's going to be an interesting week.
Oh, yeah. Crazy. Buckle up. Today, several lawmakers, in fact, on both sides of the aisle, are saying that the only path forward is a bipartisan bill. Do you think Speaker McCarthy is prepared to risk political retribution and reach across the aisle to get this done by next week? And then are Democrats willing to come to the table if he does?
Well, he has to come across, of course. We're not going to agree to some of the ridiculous and MAGA items that they put in there, MAGAs have requested thus far. So there's got to be more like the agreement we had with the debt ceiling. They moved away from the debt ceiling agreement. The Senate has a bill that includes the agreement from the debt ceiling. And so I would think that there would have to be some negotiations in a very strong way in that regards. And it would have to be, we would have to get some of the things that we know are important for the American people and not just put, so we can put people over politics is what we want to do as Democrats.
Yeah. Let's turn to the war in Ukraine, sir. As you know, on Thursday, President Zelensky paid a visit to the White House as well as Capitol Hill to ask the U.S. for additional support. Zelensky faces pushback from a growing number of Republicans, but now it seems Democrats are also questioning how much the U.S. can do for Ukraine. Is there a cutoff point?
I was in the meeting with President Zelensky when he came up to the Hill on Thursday, and there's a lot at stake here. We have to be patient. The Ukrainians are winning this war. We could not allow Vladimir Putin to come in and just take sovereign property. And in fact, his goal has always been to divide us and divide us from our allies in NATO, in EU, even our allies in Japan and in the South Pacific. We've got to stand. It's important. They're looking at America for direction. They're looking at it for leadership. We've got to keep that coalition locked in. And it's got to stay locked in because that's how we win in the end. So the United States, in my opinion, needs to stick in there because what Putin is trying to do is wait to the next election. He thinks that he can get a Donald Trump and others who believe more in Putin and Russia in the United States, as we've seen before. The President Zelensky was very clear on the progress that's being made by the Ukrainians. And I got to tell you, those Ukrainian people have been strong in fighting. If we don't do that and allow Putin to continue to move on, and then he next goes into a NATO country, now then not only will we have to spend money, but we will have to send troops on the ground. As of right now, we do not have to send any of our men or women on the ground. All we have to do is to continue to support Ukraine. And I believe that in the end, we will win.
The courage that he displays, unwaveringly so, is quite admirable. But let's move on to what happened Thursday when the president announced that the U.S. will allow hundreds of thousands of undocumented Venezuelans to work legally. New York, as you well know, sir, is one of many states grappling with an influx of migrants. Give me a sense of your takeaway from Governor Kathy Hochul, who was talking about this, and what you see as the best solution to the problems in New York, and if they can also be reflected in other states across the country that are equally inundated with migrants.
I think it was tremendously important, the designation of TPS status for Venezuelans. We know why people are leaving Venezuela, crossing over into the United States. They clearly would be should be allowed to work. This will give them that opportunity to work. This should help New York City. We think that about 20 to 25% of those immigrants that's in New York City who can't work will now be able to work, which means we don't have to shelter them.